Filming.
Okay.
Show.
So,
Hello there,
hello,
Mrs.
Lynch.
Joylyn Lynch.
Mhm.
Yeah. What shall we be talking about today?
Um, I want to talk about aliens.
Aliens.
Yes,
Aliens.
aliens.
Okay. So what
Yeah.
is an alien?
I think a lot of people call people they don't understand aliens, but to me, aliens are just a different species, a different form of energy, a different frequency that does not belong to planet Earth, and that means it belongs to other planets, and it's galactic life. It's a different form of intelligence, and I talk to them, and they are very very friendly, is what I can say, and they help you channel your psychic gifts and your psychic intuitions, and some people may know it as star seeds as well. So some of the aliens or star seeds technically reincarnate on planet Earth as human beings. For example, me. Um, yeah. So there's a lot of us here.
So what exactly is a star seed for people unfamiliar?
Okay, so a star seed is basically like this galactic being that comes from a different planet or a different galaxy, right? With a mission to sort of support humanity make the shift from 3D to 5D. So basically, help humanity become better, is what we're trying to say. And they incarnate in human bodies as human beings. So basically, they disguise themselves as human beings to blend in, and they have a lot of psychic gifts and psychic intuition that can aid humanity in like a lot of different ways. So that would be a star seed.
So what is the difference between 3D consciousness, 4D consciousness, and 5D consciousness?
Mm. I feel like 3D consciousness is like this lower density, it's very matrixy. It's a very dense frequency. Planet Earth was in 3D for such a long time. It's a scarcity mindset, and it's just people not being in harmony. Um, a lot of suffering. Suffering is a 3D plane frequency. In the higher realms, we do not have suffering. Suffering is a planet Earth thing, and other planets we don't really have that frequency because we have ascended that emotion. After all, suffering is still an emotion, and emotions can be ascended. And 4D is basically, I don't really have the 4D barrier. A lot of people speak about 4D, but I don't really know. I go from 3D to 5D. There's no in between for me. 4D is basically like a middle state where you are in 3D a little bit, you are in 5D a little bit. You've just started to awaken to certain deeper truths, and you are not here or there. It's a middle state. It's in between. And 5D, as we know it, is totally like a love frequency, and it is based in a higher consciousness of a higher frequency where everybody lives in harmony and is in sort of like this abundant bliss state. The highest frequency attainable for humankind right now on planet Earth would be 5D.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so if one were to sort of aspire to ascend their consciousness from a denser, more three-dimensional state, a state which is more weighed down by, like you said, a scarcity mindset, by the necessities of material living, survival, fear, avoiding threats and stuff like that, moving from that kind of lower kind of state of consciousness to a higher state of consciousness, which is more characterized by love, curiosity, exploration, play. What is the process of transition, of transformation?
So the process that which we speak of is called the ascension process, as we know it. Many spiritual beings here know what the term ascension means, but for those who don't know, it basically means that ascension means ascending from a lower state into a higher state of being, and it's a journey. Just like anything else, everything is a journey. So first comes first is a choice. You always have a choice to stay where you are or a choice to move forward. So as soon as you consciously choose that, okay, I am in a 3D density and I don't like it, I want to get out of suffering. Staying in suffering is a choice and leaving suffering is a choice. Now, this will be very intense for certain humans to understand, but it is a choice. Everything has free will. You are the co creator. You have to understand. You create to some extent your suffering because you also create your heaven. So it's sort of like this awakening to knowing that I have the choice, I have the will to get out of a situation that I do not like. So you start by coming to terms with that. And
Mm.
once you've done that, it will be very easy to go to the next steps because you are clear on what you want.
Mm.
That's why, even in manifestation, everybody says that you have to be really clear on your vision, you have to be really clear on what it is that you do want. So the further steps are more in a direct sort of a line, and you don't fumble your way out in the journey. And then once you've done that, it starts with taking care of your mind, your body, and your spirit because that's what makes you.
Mm.
So you have to learn basically to harmonize your mind, your body, and your spirit. That's what makes a human, right? As a human, you have to be able to take care of your consciousness in every form. So I would say we can start off with the physical form, like your body. Your body is like a physical 3D form, correct? So you start by taking care of your body by eating well, by exercising quite a bit. Also, love helps. You know, when you love something or someone, that really helps make you feel better. It establishes a deeper sort of emotional well-being and a deeper connection. And then you work on other things like your spirit and how to heal. So in short, it would be healing. Step number one is acceptance. Step number two is healing all parts of you that have been traumatized or have been compromised to suffering and trauma. As you know, we have a lot of trauma around us and we are kind of very perceptive, so each human absorbs that trauma. But what we don't realize is that we hold on to it forever and we don't even know that we're holding on to trauma. So it's good when you release that, when you know how to let go of everything that's holding you back. And then as you go further, each journey is different to everybody else. So people figure out their own path when you walk it. So there is no fixed paradigm for everyone, like this is the process. But the process basically involves your absolute well being, you ascending to the highest version of you, and you becoming the most ideal human being. So, yeah, that's what I would say. But I would like to know your thoughts about your personal journey in ascension, as we're both in the process as well. And
Mm.
yeah.
Well, yeah, it's yeah, a lot of it is, like you say, it's taking on your role as as the co-creator of your reality, which is the opposite polarity of, say, more of a victim kind of
Yeah,
consciousness,
victim mentality.
where you see reality as happening to you, and yourself as this helpless victim of circumstance. It's a very well, it's a narrative. It's a narrative that the mind can spin for itself in order to define its story, and but ultimately we need to be conscious of the stories that our mind, constructs about the world that we're in, how we relate to that world, because it's our thoughts can create our reality in that sense, and there are many kind of stories that people subscribe to, which um, hinder their ascension process, that hinder their ability to experience and receive love, to see the wonder of life. Um, Many stories which are sort of propagated by media channels on your phones, on social media. Um, it's people need to be really conscious of that, conscious of their intuitive reactions to things, the intuitive ways they think about their life, and particularly the stories that they have, the thoughts that they have, which are limiting themselves, which are telling themselves that they're not capable of this or that thing, of healing, of ascending, that they are this or that kind of person, because all stories on some level are made up. Honestly, they're like masks sometimes, because you're just source, and the source reality is it's nameless in its sort of essential nature, and it's only the expressions of this sort of nameless source that we do give names, that we call people and tumours and trees and chairs and atoms and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's only really when you're truly silent and your mind is empty of thoughts where you are truly close to source, and in that state there's a kind of a natural peace, there's a natural kind of natural harmony that one realizes, because they're not thinking, they're not thinking themselves to be something they're not. It's only when the mind sort of arises sometimes with thoughts of separation, fragmentation, and believing that something is this way when it really isn't. It's often the mind and distortions of the mind which can, create our suffering. But the mind can also create peace and prosperity and abundance when it is appropriately aligned to reality, when you have a disposition to see beauty and joy and love in things. The mind is plastic, it can be molded, it's not fixed.
True.
But yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree to that. It was very beautifully put by you, and I would say that everything starts with your mind, because your mind is also a creator. You have to really understand that your mind is not just your mind, it is almost like a device that can be used to write any story you want to write. So if your mind is predisposed to suffering, you will write a story that involves suffering. But if you rewire your brain into seeing the lighter aspects, rewiring it into creating all the things that you wish to experience, and having that belief, that is what you will manifest, because manifestation happens all the time. So it's either that you adjust your thoughts, or you just be a victim to anything that is happening. But we sort of teach people how to take control of their own lives through their well-being and blending their mind, body and spirit, and to show people that they are not as powerless as they think they are, because you are the creator of your own reality, and nothing can say otherwise. Because a lot of people fall into the sort of victim mentality, and they suffer at the hands of themselves. Nobody is making you suffer. If you change the way you look at it, you will see that everything is here for your soul to learn something, to ascend something. Your soul is on planet Earth for a reason. You know how people look for purpose in all the wrong places, but there is no wrong place. That's an illusion. You're always having the experiences that you're meant to have. That's what we call destiny and fate. And all of these things are very, very real. Not only are they real, but we experience it on a daily basis. And some people call it science, some people call it magic. But if we're all talking about the same thing, it's just a human life experience. And if you are unsatisfied with your human life experience, there is always a way to create a life that you want, and that is very much possible. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I think that's a very powerful message to leave
Yeah,
the
definitely.
listeners with. So yeah, tune in next time.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we'll
that
be
was
back
lovely.
soon.
We'll be back very soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Wow.